Again, welcome everybody to the Truth Tribe. I'm Dawn Thompson. I want to thank all of you for being here, especially my newbies. I am so excited to see all of you, as well as all my veterans who keep growing and growing. I love seeing all of you, and I love seeing all of us grow. Remember that you are perfect exactly where you are in this now moment, and that there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. And I love you, all of you, very much. Remember that Truth Tribe, you guys, now and for this point forward, is always about illuminating your self-awareness, you knowing you, right? In relationships where, you know, you have to learn to reveal, relationships show up, they reveal the boulders that affect your health, your wealth, and your love. Those are the three biggies. Yes, there's more things. So we're here also, in addition, I'm always just going to tap very lightly on hotspots. At the end, I'll always do Q&A, but your birth chart, bring it to the class, right? And we'll talk about it, where it sits in your chart. You don't need an astrology wheel for Truth Tribe ever, but it just helps because astrology is to see where you can look at yourself and where to get faster, where you get stuck and see it faster. Because you all know I do not believe in 20 years of therapy when self-awareness gives you validation to clear up your path in minutes when we look at it on your chart. That's a simple piece for all of us, okay? And so tonight, I wanted the title to be There Is No Spoon, It's Your Beliefs. And I know that's sometimes hard for us to like wrap our brain on. What is she talking about? So yesterday, I'm going to tap more into it later, but there's a ton of activity out in the sky. And as you all know, the planets don't do anything to you. They give us opportunities to do things for ourselves. And because that Capricorn full moon, I warned you last week, it was a doozy. And it was an opportunity for all of us to visit our shadow, hiding from the roller coaster shit show going on within your mind and within your relationships. We cannot run from them. I watch people and they're like, I'm so happy. Actually, life is wonderful. I'm actually doing really great. And I'm like, but you can't run away from it just like faking it. Stuff's gonna come up, okay? Even just memories, if memories are popping up, even just social events that maybe you're part of or you go to, and your first thought is to criticize or judge someone within that event, right? That person is appearing in your energy field to trigger you so you can see your inner wound ready for release. That's what's going on. Now, let's simplify this. You did not come here without pain points. No one did, all right? No one's exempt from this lesson, right? And I'm not a fan of using the word wounded, but that's what that's the trendiness, like heal your wounds. And it feels like a wound. It feels like someone stabbed you and hurt you and wounded your heart. I get that, but you're not wounded, okay? You came here to learn a lesson of your karmic blueprint. Karma is not, if I do good, I get good. No. Karma is completion. And as I've said, if you keep avoiding these lessons or pain points, it's going to be uncomfortable. And I've said it so many times, you can either complete the lesson in your life from childhood, in your chart, in your everything, or you can do it in your teens, or you can do it today, okay? Or you can avoid it and then act as if that you can't believe people are showing up in your space to irritate the shit out of you. Okay. You can't believe when people are calling you out to grow and become more, or they're leaving you behind. And you're like, I can't believe they don't want to be around me anymore. You can't believe it when people are telling you there's a better way, but you're refusing it. We have to see it. And so last week, I warned you all that the mother and the father shadow emotions or memories or interactions would appear from that full moon. And it's still lingering from last night. It's asking you to find the cracked foundations that you felt as a child. And are you repeating that in any relationship today? Yes, it's easier to see in spouse and family, but anywhere, right? So you have to ask yourself from this point forward, just simplify this. Did I grow up with critical parents? Now, are you asking yourself, am I criticizing everyone that I see in my life and less than, right, like that you're blaming them as problematic or difficult? Or are you thinking, well, it's not you, it's them, right? Are we all doing that? Like, do you have, maybe you had irresponsible parents? Right? And then you're catching yourself be irresponsible or unreliable to everyone or other things in your life. And you're thinking, well, it's not you, it's them, their fault, it's the circumstances. It's my boss. It's the them. Obsessive, controlling, smothering parents. And you can't remove yourself from being attached to everything and everyone in your life about how they do things and what they do, because you know the right way to do it is yours only. But it's not you, it's them, right? Or maybe you had unavailable parents. A lot of people had that, right? Who maybe have, given you resources. So on the external, your life looked pretty good. I had a good life. I was fed. I had a good home to live in. It was safe, but emotionally or physically, they were unavailable. So are you unavailable, right? That you have to figure out life on your own with your own immature brain because you didn't have anyone to lean on. And now you attract people who are emotionally and physically unavailable to you. I'm asking you these questions because we have to start saying the external is showing us and the karma we came to complete. I'm not asking you to even judge or accuse your parents of anything in this lifetime for any of this. Why? Because I'm asking you to understand the emotions, the physicality, the experiences that you had with them are appearing right now so you can eliminate them from your mentality for good. That those belief systems, they are affecting you and they affect you physically, emotionally, and spiritually, health, wealth, and love. And if you cannot see them, if you're going to fight your own internal matrix of program, remember the matrix is the mind. Body, mind, spirit, okay? Spirit is your causal energy, your Taurus field, okay? And so, oh my goodness. All right, guys, can y'all see me? We're talking about parents and we're talking about understanding. We're talking about who we are. So we're talking about the matrix, someone said yes. So if you start to realize that the matrix, which is what I want to bring up tonight, and I'm going to jumble this all up a little bit because I have some notes and stuff that I wanted to share with you. Oh, here we go. We're going to log in. So at least I'm going to get my notes back. I'm just going to keep you on my phone and we're going to go from there. And so I'll be able to pull you back up here on my screen. So what happened is recently, I don't know if any of you, if you have or haven't seen The Matrix, okay, I want you all to go watch it. If you haven't seen it, great. If you have seen it, go rewatch it. And the reason I bring that up is because I hadn't seen it in a while, and I was like, I'm just gonna go watch this and see what I missed and what's going on in the world today. And what I found fascinating, it was from 1999. Okay, so that's how old this movie was, which so many people have said it was a documentary. It wasn't a movie. And I'm like, well, yeah, exactly. And so I watched it, and it basically, the premise is, right, like Neo can take the red pill or the blue pill. And the red pill is you can go and decide what kind of reality you want to live in. You choose your life, you choose your reality, you choose your truth. And you can live that life and you decide how you want to design it and the kind of life you want. Or you can go and live with the blue pill. And that blue pill is basically on, let's just say you're on a hamster wheel and it's Groundhog Day every single day. And you just do the same thing in and out, no thought pattern, in a zone, and you are being programmed and told how to live. Okay. And so you have two options. Now, that was the least of it of what I was trying to experience in the movie. And so I was watching it. And as I was watching it, I got through, like, I don't know, because I never really watched the whole thing. And so I got through, like, I don't know, I think it was probably like halfway through. And Neo is taken to a psychic, which we've brought up all these topics before, right? And so he's taken to a psychic, and they call it the Oracle in the movie. If you've seen it, you'd be able to kind of track with me a little bit, right? And so ask Pat why everyone's being hacked. Pat, I'm getting comments here. I'll ask Pat why we're being hacked in a little bit. So basically, so in the movie, halfway through, he's gone and they've taken him to go to the Oracle, which is a psychic. And so he's sitting there and he's kind of like waiting room, waiting for her. And he gets to these children that are sitting there, and one of the children is like juggling some blocks, and they're in, they're floating in air, and she's juggling the blocks. And then another one is basically holding the little boy. He looks like a monk, but he's a little boy, and his head's shaved, and he's holding a spoon, and he sees Neo, and Neo sees him, and he bends the spoon in half. And so as he bends the spoon in half, Neo's like blown away, right? He's like, oh my gosh. And so what happened is, from that point, then Neo was just like, how do you do that? So the little boy says, here, try it. So he gives the spoon to Neo. And Neo's like, bend the spoon, bend the spoon, bend the spoon. And he's trying to bend it with his mind. And just like that, the little boy says, there is no spoon. And the second that Neo accepts that, he accepts the fact that there is no spoon, and that the spoon is a creation of his mind, and he's seeing it from that perspective. And because of from that perspective, he sees it in his mind, and then he bends the spoon, because he realized, because there's no spoon, he can create the spoon in any way he wants. And because of that, he starts to understand that he is the spoon. You are the spoon. All of these experiences are coming to him from the perspective of his mind and what he sees and what that experience is. And so if we can start opening our minds now and understanding that we have the power, right? We have the power to start opening all of this up. Okay, I'm back in on my computer, so I'm gonna join back in with you guys on my computer, and we're gonna go from there. Okay, okay, thank you. All right, and I'm gonna get off of this one. So again, I apologize for that. That was just such an insanity that that we just went through, or that I just went through. Clearly, I need to do some work on my computer, but I apologize. So anyway. So we're back to Neo. I'm kind of all over the board here, but I'm sharing with you, basically, we have to start paying attention to the reality we want, right? The reality that we want to choose, the reality that we want. All right, here we go. I'm back. I'm back, cray cray, people. Thank you for sticking with me. I apologize for that. And she's back. Okay, I apologize. Okay. Well, that was a little work, but it's okay. All good. Okay, so if you can't see external people that you're fighting, your mind is the matrix, right? Your mind is the mindset that you've got to start looking at, is that your mind is creating reality, just like a computer program. Okay, and so if you can start looking at things from that perspective of, it's just like a computer program that has, let's just say, a virus in it. That's a big topic these days, right? And that you have to run a detox, like you would run a detox in your body to remove toxins, right? And so the same thing happens when it comes to your mind. You are in the thick of it, running a detox of your emotions and your memories and your lessons that you fucking hated as a child, right? They were painful, that you did not like, that hurt you, or that you do not want to repeat as an adult. And we create the reality, but we create the reality that we believe to be true and real. I need you to hear this. That's what Neo was doing. We create the reality that we believe to be true and real. So if you identify with any thought, any truth, anything, it becomes real. And so Neo identified with the spoon being a spoon, so it was real. So he knew in his mind, the belief he was taught is a spoon doesn't move. But then when he is disassociated from that, what happened? So it's not a spoon, or is it a spoon? Is the difference in every now moment, in every new parallel reality. There are multiple realities that you can choose right now. And then again in a second, right now. You get to choose all of those realities. You get to choose which reality that you choose to jump into or not jump into. And this is what I'm trying to get you guys to start seeing, is you are in a new reality every second of every moment of your life, my friends. And you cannot be in self-awareness and at the victim state at the same time. You can't. And so trying to do that makes makes a complete turnaround in your life, because observing your belief about a current issue in your life is different than becoming the issue. Observing the spoon and becoming the spoon are completely different experiences. You guys have to understand your parents did the best they could, and your parents may never want to understand where you're going, but what you're doing and how you're changing and raising your frequency. I'm telling you. But now the only way out is to look at the I am in your life. I am repeating, think of the parent stuff, loser, unwanted, sick all the time, whatever you're labeled with or you didn't like, and admit it, that it's not what you want to be. Own it and say no more, no freaking more. How do you do that? Right? You have to see it and then observe it from a new reality. A perfect example, I've told you guys this before, on my website, in my IDI Academy, by the way, August 23rd, I'm going to be doing a free live virtual event. I'll throw in the link in the chat when we're done, and you guys can sign up early. You guys get the early link. I haven't marketed it yet, but if you want to get in and you grab your seat, it's free. It's a live virtual event on a Saturday where I'll walk you through seeing your parents' patterns on paper. And if you don't want to wait, again, IDI Academy is always on my website. You can go do it digitally and download your unhealthy parents' behaviors that are repeating right now as an adult. Okay. You downloaded from your parents' computer programs with their pesky mental viruses, their pesky mental matrix minds from their parents, and it's what you're being given to heal. Okay. So it's not about admitting this, oh, I'm having these bad thoughts or these bad beliefs about myself or my body or my reality. It's about admitting it to yourself so you can see the habit or the victim pattern, so you can unbe it as I am that, right? And then when someone calls you out, you can say, oh yeah, I didn't mean to. It's not my intention. I own it. I'm a healed badass. I forgot. Right? We're not realizing, well, I can't just say that, Dawn. And I mean on everything. There is nothing on this physical planet that you cannot heal. Physically, mentally, emotionally, environmentally, nothing. But we have to step into the matrix of our bullshit mind memories and go, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. This is a big deal because it's bubbling to the surface, and everything you learned about financial, emotional security, everything you learned about feelings and emotions, and I don't mean about breakdowns and poor me. Yes, we're going to have fucking shitty days. But the whole crying, I'm nobody, I'm not good enough, right? You might feel that way, but that's not what this is about. This is about you owning your reality that you want to live in. So tonight's topic of a hotspot is go look at your Chiron. Now, I'm talking about Chiron on your birth chart. What slice is it? And is it in slice 1? Is it in slice 5? Is it in slice 7? Wherever. But find where Chiron is. You've already been down this wheel with me. Now, the transiting Chiron up in the sky, I'm going to talk deep into it in a minute. Okay, the end of the class. But by the end of the week, Friday, I'm pretty sure, Friday, transiting Chiron is going to go retrograde in Aries. Okay, and it will get you to feel your own birth chart Chiron as well, where you were wounded as a child and where you're here to heal and teach as an adult, where you're here to open up, and it's going to trigger what stupid bullshit beliefs and wounds that you're here to heal and see, and to learn that you have multiple timelines and realities that you can choose instead. Chiron is your sword of power. You survived as a child. Now wake the fuck up. You survived all of it. You didn't survive it. You survived, you thrived, and you empowered yourself out of it. So this comes back to Neo again, and in the Matrix, and in this spoon reality, right? That we have to start looking at, right? What you don't realize is your brains are on autopilot, always telling you how to live in a mental jail. And when you get to that point in the movie, you start realizing that, oh my gosh, I'm not the spoon. No, you're not the spoon, because there is no spoon. So now all of you, really quick, I want you to think as the spoon discussion in Neo. You're Neo right now, and I want you to think of a thing. Think about one thing in your mind right now that you have been It's been a repeating challenge, an issue, a struggle, financial debt, career blocks, health, pain, relationship issues, trauma, drama, emotional trauma, belief systems that you cannot shake. Think of one right now. Okay? Think of that one and tell me what that one is. Okay? What is that one thing that you just can't seem to shake it? And I mean, it could be a pain in your leg, it could be eczema you can't get rid of, it could be inability to make money, it could be like make money, lose money, it could be whatever it is. Love, you can't seem to find love. And from now on, from this point forward, I want you to start changing that, okay? And I'm going to ask you to do something instead. I want you to apply the trauma. Pick the thing you just said. Say the word out loud. My challenge is this thing, okay? And I want you to apply this mantra. Everybody say it out loud. There is no spoon, right? We'll use this as like it's my spoon, okay? I'm holding the spoon. There is no spoon. So in your mind, I want you to look at that thing in your reality and realize there is no family. There is no trauma. There is no person. There is no physical pain in your stomach or your hip or your leg. There is no parasite in your intestines. There is no financial debt mafia coming to get your beliefs about yourself being in lack. And what you don't realize is that when the planets are shifting, all they're doing is creating opportunity for upgrading. Your brains will be in resistance mode to bend the spoon, to bend the debt in your money, the debt in your emotions, whatever it is, the pain, to bend the sadness. It's simply a bad virus program in your mind, my friends, of beliefs that you hold the red pill to change. And your souls are asking you to take over and choose to bend the spoon to a new reality, to bend your reality. And you, my friends, are here to warrior the fuck up. I'm being serious tonight because it's really getting to me because everybody's struggling. Step out of it. Realize you choose every second of every moment of your reality. I'm telling you, you're a brand new person every second. You're a brand new, when someone just said being vulnerable with others, right now, you are not vulnerable. There is no vulnerability. Vulnerability this isn't even a thing. You're owning it and becoming vulnerable. That's not a thing. There is no vulnerability. There is no spoon. Replace the word spoon with your word. I watch this all day long with my clients telling me, I just don't know why I'm doing this. I'm not resisting. I don't want to my parents. I don't want to be like that. But they still believe this pain point because instead they're not open to it not being a spoon or it not being the pain or it not being the challenging relationships or it not being the unwanted and unlovable. They're still holding on to that belief just like he held onto the spoon. So if you're still in drama, you know you haven't clearly defined your past programs or those iPod downloads, that you have not clearly defined the new reality you want instead. So that's why I tell people, go find out what you downloaded from your parents. Go, oh, screw that shit. Take the good stuff, of course, because not even the parents that came through horribly gave you something good. It's that simple. But what you're not realizing is there is no spoon. You are creating everything, even bad repeating habits in your mind, as if they are a real spoon, if they are a real pain, they're a real thing. If you have a parasite, you have parasitic mind that's seeing a parasitic worm thing in your body. There's no parasite. This moon has your pain on the chopping block. So I need you all to decide the red blue or the blue pill, right? My friends, there are no other options at this point in life. And the best way I can give this to you is where I'm going right now is I've taken 5 red pills, which means if you are already here and you're like, I'm ready, Dawn, to activate your whole life, you will be attending the DMT method event in Denver in October, a whole day of red pilling all 12 fractals of your life. If you're not ready and you're like, yeah, it can't be that simple, to learn that there is no spoon, there is no old reality. There's low frequency, high frequency, and we've all been picking the old reality, the low frequency of spoon, unmovable. Then you're not ready. Because what I'm trying to tell you is it's time to refuse being programmed into this matrix mind, your mind. And if you don't even fucking know you're doing it, but the doctor said, but the teacher said, but the fake wizard on TV said, but the fake leader said, but the fake actors on the screen said. So therefore, it must be the fake belief system that my parents told me must be true. So therefore, I don't see anything could be any different. I cannot make this any more clear. Warrior up. Be the freaking lighthouse I have taught you all to be. You turn on your light. You shine like a freaking strobe light. You do not dim. You do not move. And you freaking go design your own life. Everything within you, my friends, is being activated. Last week, you all felt this. The Schumann resonance, which we talked about last year. You can go Google it, SCHUMANN, resonance, right? It's the heartbeat of the planet. And it was off the charts, and it would go so high in frequency, it was overwhelming. You didn't know it was happening, but it was. And the Earth's energy field, when it gets like that, it causes you to have all these physical symptoms. You're like, I'm dizzy. So you're feeling dizzy, confused, erratic sleep. You were starting to see the veil of between dimensions are shifting, and so it's lifting. So you start to see trails of light and orbs and spots in the corner or periphery of your eyes. You're starting to have memory problems. You're not having memory problems. You're erasing all the bullshit that you don't need to hold anymore. Matrix thinking. You were starting to wake up and realize, holy shit, I used to believe this, and it's not very good. It does me no good. It doesn't hold true anymore. Who gives a shit that there's no longer duality of good and bad? How about we just love each other? It's all a shit show so you can stop focusing on out there and focus on you, on self-awareness. So what is your expanded elevated self? What do you want right now? Not tomorrow, not I'm going to work on it, not in one day, right now, because right now in every second and every moment, you have a new opportunity to change, which is why every Truth Tribe I've been asking you to repeat after me. So everybody pick your dream reality, pick that thing you didn't want. And right now you're going to say, no, 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 no. The dream opposite of that thing, I am not the parasite. I am not the pain. I am not that. Right? There is no pain. There is no parasite. There is no bad marriage. There is no arguing. There is no trauma. There is no abuse, whatever it is. And I'm going to have you repeat after me. I teleport into my dream reality now. Clap 3 times. I teleport into my dream reality now. If you have to do that all the time and you have to go, oh, wait, this pain I'm having, this argument I'm having, that's not the one I want. I'm just being it. I'm creating it with my mind because I've been taught that my whole life. And I was like, oh, I have to create something different. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. You guys are hanging in here with me. All right. So let's get into the what's going on in the sky, why I went here. But what I'm trying to get you all to understand is if I just say master your mind, you're like, okay, whatever, I'll be disciplined. You're not being disciplined because we're not seeing the fact that the veil's lifted, the energy shifted, the energy has changed, and all that is done. And because of that, what happens? You have to grow. You have to stop holding on to the boxes. So yesterday, that full moon in Capricorn, you felt it. It was deep. It was about clearing out closure and clearing out the old in mother and father wounds, security, emotions, feelings. It was about pouring a new foundation, your red pill, in a new way and not clinging to old box thinking personally or in collectively. Capricorn, again, remember, is ruled by Saturn and it rules government. So you saw leadership crumbling last week. You saw security, foundation, the structure of the system is crumbling. And I kept warning you all, get ready. It's all going to die and it's all going to burn to the ground. and your own structure is up for renewal. So expect emotions around any of this stuff to keep coming up if you don't deal with it. So now in the sky, Aries, right? We have what's called a square. So remember I told you a square planet up here is squaring a planet up here. There's a right angle. There's another one down here causing another right angle. Black moon Lilith, Pluto, and Mars. They're all in perfect squares right now in the sky. Don't even really need to know much about them other than when you have all the pain points getting activated right now, right? Plan on pulling out all the shadow work journaling you have. Pull out your journal and like, this is coming up. And my mom hurt my feelings. And my dad, he was never there and he abandoned me. My dad was an alcoholic. My dad was a drug dealer. You know, whatever. I was beaten. I was abandoned. Nobody fed me. I don't know. Whatever it was. All that shadow stuff's going to come up. Get a journal and start writing it. And then I want you to write whatever those things are, right? This is not a spoon. Right? This is not a need. This is not depression. This is not credit. This is not credit card debt. This is not illness, etc., etc. This is, and then in your journal, decide to red pill the shit out of it. Right? Your deep hidden self is coming out to make an appearance, my friends. Please repeat that after me. My deep hidden self is coming out to make an appearance so I can tell it, I'm not that. And if my deep hidden self is coming out to make an appearance, so you can tell it, I'm not a spoon. I'm not a whatever it is afraid of. And if you've ignored yourself for a while and not met her little needs in a healthy way, well, she's going to get extra loud this week because of these planets squaring each other. And you already felt it from that full moon. I'm telling you, this stuff is layering. Right. And so you felt it in my calls and on, it's calling you. This will resonate with you if you have done the work. You're like, okay, I'm ready for this. But my guess is that you're also surrounded by clients and friends and family and neighbors who don't do this work, who don't get on Truth Tribe, who don't want to see their higher selves. Right. And so my guess is you're also surrounded by all these people. And when you are, it's always interesting to pay attention to the different conversations that are going to happen around you in this week-ish. Okay, let's give it 2 weeks. Okay, so play along. How many times do you see people come to you this week with stories of some big bad wolf, some big bad guy, or a TV wizard said, so they said so there was a rule or an authority of some sort, or some disease or some computer virus that's out to get them. Ooh, I want you to just be the observer and watch the spoon, not be the spoon. Be the observer, not, oh my God. And you become the problem, the disease, the virus, the bad TV wizard. Watch. Because they just can't, they're going to tell you, I just can't win no matter what I do, right? Because of this person, place, or thing that's always bossing me around. That they all have the dream, the drive, the truth, the courage, and the motivation in the world, but their plans just keep getting blocked because they're in this is a spoon reality. And I believe all that they tell me, and it can't bend, and I'm stuck, and the story grows. My friends, Chiron's transit now is asking us to honor what triggers us by choosing to respond in the teleporting to your dream reality, to your healthiest reality way possible. People are like, really? Just say it? Yes, if that's what it takes. One that doesn't bypass our needs or our desires, but takes full ownership of our reactions, our choices, our patterns. I want you to get your Neptune on, because Neptune is very delusional and watery, right? I want you to get so delusional. I want you to get as delusional as possible when this stupid belief system pops up. I'm going to go with, Jamie shared with me the word vulnerable. When vulnerable pops up, and anytime vulnerable pops up, and it feels something like it feels like something in my life isn't working. I'm feeling vulnerable and I don't know what to do to make it work. This is what I do. I get as diluted as the ocean view. It's so big. There's so much, like as if it's a spoon, right? If it isn't a spoon and it's not the ocean and it's just diluted with all this water, okay, maybe the spoon, think of this, I'm going to make your mouth water. Maybe it's a pretzel with spoon qualities, starting to make myself the opposite of a spoon. And I'm going to bend that spoon and create the spoon into a pretzel and make myself salivate and feel the sourdough deliciousness in my mouth and it's melting in my mouth. You have to get so delusional that that's not a spoon. Because your brain, your ego, your I am a bad boy, I'm a bad girl self is going to fight you. So you have to go super ocean, super delusional, super head in the clouds and go, what would I really want it to be? Because if it's not a spoon, if it's not vulnerable, right? Someone said is in other words, so diluted or watered down, it dissipates. Yeah, because it can't be what you're trying to make it be in your ego self. Because the second you water it down, I want you to think, here's your phrasing. I know exactly the right thing for this spoon to become. To bend this spoon, because it's not a spoon. It's a pretzel and it's warm and it's sourdough bread and I'm salivating and I can eat it. So now you're not even thinking about a freaking spoon. I know the next step, maybe. That's going to crack this wide open. I'm using this as challenge, whatever you pick, and change everything. When a shadow fear pops up, I'm using vulnerability. When vulnerability pops up, I will bend the spoon into I am confident and powerful instead. Let's just use badass. I am a badass instead. Because badasses mean bad means you're going to break the rules, and ass means you're stubborn and you're going to be a stubborn rule breaker and you're going to move forward. I know exactly what I need to do and say to make this situation watered up, filled with water, and grow to my favor. Just feeding the subconscious what I'd like for it to be. Who would I like to be? A spoon or a delicious pretzel? I'll take the pretzel. Rather than feeding it more of the same stuck boulder-like beliefs that keep me stuck. So I start turning it into all these amazing things so I'm not stuck. Just getting unstuck is more powerful than just staying there. Everybody tap in real quick. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I'm going to open up for Q&A. I want to know who needs to use there is no spoon in another area. We got vulnerable. Let me see. I got up here. What else did I get? Believing I deserve unlimited success. Yes. And so when you feel like you don't have enough money, I need you to say, there is no money, right? There is no money. I love that. Right. And when you say like, I feel like I have to work on my marriage or my relationship, there is no marriage. There is no relationship. So I believing I deserve unlimited success is huge, but you can't believe that if you don't know what you're blocking you from you're holding on to, because that's what's shackling you in the box. You have to go, but there is no money, but there is no bank account. There is none of this. I'm abundantly receiving gold coins showering down on my hands with gold bricks that are worth gazillions, millions and millions of dollars every day. I have thousands of dollars passively flowing into my hands every day. Now, remember, you can't let ego block it. So share with me in that Q&A, when you think about like one of your challenges, you're like, wow, I have to really think about that. Like there is no thing. Share with me that. And then I want you also to tap in and let me know where you have Chiron, and you're going to see you will create egoic I am. Jackie, where you had told me I deserve unlimited success, I want you to tell me what you feel blocks your success, if you don't mind, like 1 or 2 words. Would you mind telling me that? What you see as blocking you? Or even if you even know what house your Chiron is, that will give you some clarity. Chiron's in my 11th house. Oh, Melissa. So I'm wounded in how people see me and how I'm out in the world. And so for her, that wound needs to step further in there and go, wait a minute, I need to lead people in the world. And so when people are going to come at you, they're going to probably, when Chiron's in that house, get backstabbed. Maybe you have one or multiple times, not just by people, but family members, by relationships. And so there's a part of you that has to go, oh, no, 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 right? There is no pain in the public. There is no pain with people because um, I'm here to lead on a mission and I really don't care how they're affected by me. So when you have Chiron in the 11th house, I want you to think about it is, do you walk out and you're creating realities where people will take advantage of you, manipulate you, or stab you in the back? I'm telling you this because I have Chiron in my 11th house too, and it's happened a lot of times. And I had to stop that. I had to dilute it and go, no, no, no. All the people who want to support me and be with me and learn and advance and go into the quantum field and jump timelines like we're doing, those are the people who I'm attracted to because there is no backstabbers. That's not a thing. There is no possibility because that doesn't exist in my reality. Thinking money is going to change me. Oh my God, it's beautiful. So money is freedom. And you say, there is no freedom. There is no money. There is only me being abundantly secure, abundantly receiving passive and multiple streams of income in many ways in many days. I mean, dilute that down so much where there's so many ways for you to receive money that you stop getting caught in what it actually is doing. Chiron in the 9th house. Think about the 9th house as the house of law, right? Think of the 9th house as the house of higher learning, higher education, belief systems. And so as much as we want to go, oh no, I've changed my beliefs. Have you really? Or are you digging deep into the shadow self of what you believe and saying, oh, that's right, this is not a thing. When Chiron's in your 5th house, there is no marital drama or trauma. I revel in fun, romance, and abundant love. Beautiful. Chiron in the 4th house, home, mom, security. So there's a part of you that walks into all versions of home, mothering, nurturing, security that you think you're going to get treated like that wound you said about your mom not wanting to, let's just say, celebrate you. So if you keep thinking that, you're being it. Guys, I want you to understand this simplified down. Every time you think a thing or a thought about a parent or an experience or a pain, all of it, you're being it. So being it cannot change because you're jumping timelines in this physical body with an energetic frequency. So you cannot be it anymore. And you can't be it, you can't unbe something if you don't know what you're not being. So I'm not that. That's not real. There is no spoon. There is no security. There is no home. There is no mother. So when you just show up with her, she's just an energy that you're spending time with. She's not a programmed thing. Chiron in the 10th house, career. So someone's asking, wow, well, how do I get wounded in my career? Are you stepping into it? Or are you feeling like everywhere you go, there's going to be a problem with it that you can't have the career you want? The wounds are coming up for everyone, my friends. And if you feel that and you think it, you have to understand that is this is a spoon scenario, or you have to say, this is not a spoon. This is not a career. This is the reality I choose to live and bring my beauty and gifts to the world, and I'm going to do it. And if you dilute it down, how are the 10 ways you could do that? And start doing them all so you don't get like so narrow-minded and focused. And then it becomes the old, I am the wounded one, and they always come at me and they always respect me and they always holds true a little bit, Jamie, to what they wanted you to do in order to get that job. You set yourself up to be wounded already. It was going to be hard for you to get that job. Instead of, there are no requirements. This is not a career. This is not a job. This is just a direction I hold, and I'm going to create it this way. Does this make my friends, does this start to make sense to all of you? So when Neo is holding the spoon, you're holding the wounded aspect of your Chiron and saying, now I'm going to go find out where mom and dad programmed my mind, my little mini matrix mind when you were a baby. And they got me to say, oh, you are this. And then you said, okay, I am. The ego mind then goes, okay, to stay safe, I am that. And you're all living out, jumping timelines, moving into a new reality every split second of your life, staying that. And people frustrate themselves so deeply when they don't want to do the iPod work in the IDI Academy. Like I said, I'm doing it in Elevate, but it's not for a month from now. You can go get it easily on the website on ideserveitnow.com. And you can go write it down on paper and go, oh my gosh, I totally see that. And I am being that in my own life, adult life. So that's how you say, but I am not that. I am not the spoon. I am not that pain. I am not that thing. I am not that what I was told to be, which means you got to get diluted and become what you really want it to be. And that changes the game. So someone says here, so when we look at our wounds, let me see here, what does this say? When we look at our wounds, are we doing it to see the wound? Are we doing it to see the wound is to help us see that it's not real, but it feels real? Okay. So if I tell you it's time to look at your wounds, okay, it's time to simply take the one hot spot you feel most. And it could be Chiron, it could be Saturn, it could be the moon, it could be your North Node. It could be all four of them. It doesn't matter. Just pick the area that, but what's being triggered right now in the world. So I'm just telling you, your Chiron is a good spot to start and go, this is where I was wounded as a child, and I really feel it right now. Right? So what's being triggered right now is your father and your mother wounds came up last night. Not to be wounded, but to say, holy shit, I'm repeating this crap. And then I've activated my Chiron to remind myself, see, when I was little, that's what happened. I need you all to understand there is the point of no return when you have to say, husband, wife, children, mom, dad, siblings, friends, boss, neighbors. This is who I am. This is the higher, expanded, beautiful life I am living. I love you, but I'm going over here to activate my most badass, highest frequency self. Come with me or not. Now, your attachment in your matrix ego little brain says, but if they don't come with you, you're going to die. Is that true? Of course not. It's not even true at all. Okay, so what you have to understand is when you move to that higher frequency, when you get diluted and you go, but this can't be real. To the spoon, how is he bending it? Because there is no spoon. Well, the same thing goes is this can't be real. The reality you're creating, if you're going to go to a higher version of yourself. And that higher version of yourself exists, or you wouldn't be able to think it up. You wouldn't be able to think that you were a financially abundant, infinite success, right? You wouldn't even be able to speak the words, I believe I deserve unlimited success. You wouldn't be able to speak it. The problem is you're still shackled to an old belief system that's telling you, I am a fucking spoon. I'm using the spoon because it sounds so stupid, right? And that's my point. That's how stupid it is that we believe beliefs about what we grew up with. They weren't yours. Mom and dad give you the best they could, but just let go of the shit that wasn't good. And then take the good stuff and we start moving forward and creating a new life. But it's hard. I was having like just a stomach flare up and my stomach's been so much better. I've healed it. I'm just a rock star. I feel amazing. And today it flared up and I was like, I am not my stomach. I literally did that. And I said, I teleport to my dream reality now. And I clapped 3 times and then I removed my focus on it. And within, I don't know, I'm going to give you like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I like thought about it. I was like, oh, my stomach is gone. So I've been doing this to everything in my life. And it's hard because when you see a human being, you're like, oh, well, I'm not trying to get rid of my spouse. No, I didn't tell you to get rid of them. I just said, quit being attached to them to giving you an experience that you want them to give you because that's the one you learned it from childhood. You're not being who you want to be right now. They'll gravitate to you anyway because you're a badass, awesome human being. Does that make sense? You're all going to just you're all going to you're going to turn into your new badass Neo self and you're going to start stepping into your new mantra. I'm going to put this in the Truth Tribe wall. This is not a spoon. And every time you say that to yourself, I want you to say that phrase when you have a pain, when you have a trauma, when you're frustrated. This is not a spoon. And then you're going to say it to yourself again. Like she said in the fifth house, her fifth house rules children, romance, challenges, drama, trauma. There is no marital trauma. There is no marital drama. There is no children. There is no spouse. I revel in fun and romance and abundant love with my wonderful spouse, whoever that is. He'll come to her. He'll find her because she'll be so great. So I'm going to close up, guys, here. I apologize again for my crazy computer being crazy. Remember on Truth Tribe, if you are not in the Facebook Truth Tribe group, go to Facebook, put in Truth Tribe with Dawn Thompson, go sign in, make sure you're a guest there. It's free, but just make sure you're on there. I will remind you of this mantra. Again, if you want to review like digitally what they are deeper about your hotspots, go get your Zodiac Wheel, your Medicine Wheel course. And then you'll be able to at least have a little bit more validation. But I will talk about where each of these houses are. I saw a newbie on here. I wanted to know where his was, but he hasn't learned it yet. So I'm going to work with him. Brian, I'm so happy to see you. Welcome. Number two, if you want to learn your emotional 9-year-old, what's coming up right now for everyone, I know mine. I've mastered my hotspots. I know where my 9-year-old self comes out. So I've been very, very crystal clear about not letting that self be me. I am whoever she was, right? And so if you want to see that on paper, it's a lot easier when you write it down. Go get your hotspots your I Deserve It Academy and go get your iPod and your sonar. You'll know exactly what you're pinging out that you don't want. Last but not least, I am doing here. Let me share this with you guys. I am doing the live Elevate class. Okay. And I'm going to do that it's on August 24th. It is free. So I'm going to put here in the chat for all of you. You guys are going to get the free, hasn't even been launched yet, but I am going to give you, free entry if you guys want to grab your seats in it first. So I'll give you the link here real quick, and then you guys can go in and register if you want. And invite a friend, invite a guest. Again, like I said, it is free. And so here it is in the Zoom, or here it is in your chat window, the link to register. And then if you have your phones up, I'm just going to pull this up for you guys right now as well. You can just scan this if you don't have the link, and you guys can just scan your screen for a second, and that will pull it up for you as well. So just go ahead and I'll share my screen for a second here. Let's see. There you go. Or you can share this. So again, this is like a 3 or 4 hour class. And it's a live event, and this is to the Elevate event. And I am going to basically give you guys a free, I charge $4,000 privately to work with clients one-on-one to go through all of these sessions. I'm going to give you the most hardcore ones. Why? Because we're struggling, and I'm done listening to people struggle. It's not okay. It is not okay to be afraid. It is not okay to be in pain. It is not okay to be fearful. When we don't know, we're only fearful of our own damn selves. And so if you scan this, it'll take you right to the landing page, log in, just register. It's a free registration, and it'll keep sending you reminders until that date that it shows up. So just an FYI, there it is. And you guys are all good to go. Again, the DMT method is last after that. I'm going to activate all 12 categories. It is in Denver. If you get in now, like you guys, there's early registration. I haven't launched it yet, but if you find me privately, I will give you the launch special discount to get in. You just got to let me know. I'm going to let you all in early if you want it, because there are limited seating for a lot of this stuff, because I don't do stuff for free. And I don't want any of you to do stuff for free. Bartering, that's totally different. Sharing your skills with someone, totally different. but this is what I'm trying to get you guys to start healing faster, because I've had it with all the BS out in the world. So anyway, as you all know, you know how to find me if you have questions. If you're listening to this after the live session and you're on YouTube or Spotify, I will put all the links below in the notes. Find me if you have any questions. And again, if you got tripped up, thanks for joining me. Sorry about the little mini, but really, I think we all got it. You're all going to change your reality and jump to a new timeline. I love you. You guys, brightest blessings. Take care.